Hi, I'm Ann Scotland, and welcome back to part 3 of the MetaMindset Revolution, empowering female entrepreneurs to rewrite the rules. Yes, please. Today I'm going to share with you just 3 points about empowering ourselves as businesswomen, as female entrepreneurs through the MetaMindset Revolution that we've already been talking about in the first 2 videos. So I hope you went back and watched those or look in the notes here to find the links. So as female entrepreneurs, we have so many unique challenges on our path to success. I can't even begin to articulate how many. In a minute, I'm going to talk about family, children, balancing, lifestyle, work. Oh my goodness, so many challenges. But it's really time to discuss these challenges and discover how a meta mindset can empower us to overcome them with grace and determination. That sounds like something my grandmother used to say, something about grace and hard work. I guess that's the same, grace and determination. So first, on these 3 things, first I'm going to talk about gender biases and stereotypes in entrepreneurship. We've all been there. We've all experienced it. I experienced it in Hollywood. I know. Second, I'm going to talk about how do we balance our personal and professional responsibilities, as I was just saying. And then lastly, I'm going to touch on that thing we don't want to ever touch on, which is overcoming imposter syndrome and self-doubt. Gosh, imposter syndrome is the worst. But first, so gender biases and stereotypes in business, as women, in entrepreneurship, as female entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurial world has not always been welcoming to women. Probably very rarely until recent days have even been encouraged for women to go into the business themselves as entrepreneurs. So we have so often encountered these gender biases, these stereotypes, again, I'll say Hollywood, that attempt to limit our potential, and sometimes in really awful ways. And sometimes just playing with the mind. But here's the exciting part. The MetaMindset Revolution gives us the tools we need to challenge and overcome these barriers, because we can't live with a lid on our head. You can't. I don't know why I just had this like something from Sesame Street vision, like a trash can and a lid, but never mind me. You can't live. You can't also put the cat back at the box. It's one of my favorite expressions. And I'm like, once we have realized as women our power and our brilliance, and as we see the leadership of other powerful women, we start to realize that there is no lid. We were just told there was a lid. So I won't say the story about the donkey walking around in circles even after they cut the rope, because he'd been doing it so long he thought that's all he could do. Okay, I won't tell that story. Take the story of Sarah, a brilliant entrepreneur I know. I love her. Despite facing skepticism and bias in her industry, which was particularly a very male-dominated industry. Nothing against you guys, gentlemen, men, but let's just face it, the industry leaned in your direction, not hers. But she refused to let it define her. So what she did was embrace the principles that we're going to teach you, the principles of a focused meta mindset. She started believing that her unique perspective and talents were assets and not limitations. The fact that she was a woman actually gave her an edge in her thinking, in her planning, in being an architect of her own success. So it just means it's okay to achieve things differently. So adopting a meta mindset and practicing that helped her increase her confidence and really, and I love this, she says broadened her comfort zone. Because we often talk about get out of your comfort zone. And that's that willpower thing again. It's not about willpower. Meta means going beyond willpower to something bigger and more powerful. So instead of, get out of your comfort zone, how about you broaden your comfort zone? See, reinventing. Broaden your comfort zone. Make your comfort zone so wide that you're unfazable. And the result was that her new product, she had a product, made her a very profitable trailblazer in her industry. But she had worked for years before she started putting the meta mindset practices into her life, incorporating them into her lifestyle. And that's why she was about to quit. She was about to quit the industry. And by doing this instead, she literally became a leader in her field. So by challenging these societal expectations, by challenging industries that are, say, male dominant, and it's really tradition. It doesn't mean they're all bad people. Of course not. It just is tradition. It's the energy of that industry. But we have to move with the times. We have to change. So us as women, as professional women, as entrepreneurs, by embracing our unique strengths, we have unique strengths. We can break free from those limiting beliefs, not just of others, but of ourselves, and help pave the path to the success we really, really want. So, okay, for a minute now, briefly, I'm going to talk about number 2. How do we, as businesswomen and female entrepreneurs, how do we balance our personal and professional life? Ugh. I'm familiar. So as women, we often juggle more roles and responsibilities than, let's say, some other people. So balancing the demands of family, relationships, a home, personal self-care, well-being, in addition to our entrepreneurial pursuits, can be really overwhelming. I mean, literally, come on, how many hours are there in a day? So what if instead of doing more, we do less better? How about adopting a meta mindset that can help us face these overwhelming challenges and provide a light through this maze that we call life, that we have to juggle? I'll tell you about another amazing entrepreneur, Maria. She's a phenomenal woman, a phenomenal businesswoman, a very loving mother. And she initially, as she was a startup starting her entrepreneurship, she struggled to find a balance between her family, most of us have, and her business. But adopting the meta mindset taught her to prioritize more hours at the office? No, self-care. It taught her to efficiently delegate tasks, which now I did say tasks with a K, right? To delegate tasks, which now makes her a talented manager and administrator, and taught her to set boundaries, which is really interesting. And sometimes we think of setting boundaries as confinement as opposed to freedom. We'll talk about that another time. Really, setting the boundaries is how you earn your freedom, how you move through the boundaries into your freedom. And so she realized, Maria, that nurturing her well-being wasn't a luxury for her, but it's literally essential for her sustainable success. She had to plan in her calendar downtime, self-care time, time to even spoil herself, and then she could take on the greater burden. So sometimes it is by doing less, and sometimes it's by shifting what we do and the amount of effort. Is it better to take that hour of self-care on a Wednesday, or to spend 1 more hour in the office, in the big picture, in the productivity of your whole week? How does a meta mindset affect this? And how does adopting and practicing a meta mindset really empower you to have the freedom to just make these decisions without feeling guilty? Besides, if you're in business for yourself, who's making you feel guilty? Good question. I didn't spend enough time with this person this week. Okay. So, and research shows us too. So the World Economic Forum's gender gap report, global gender gap report, if you've never looked at it, you might want to take a peek. It's really fascinating. And it emphasizes the value of empowering women to balance their personal lives with their professional lives. It's actually recognized that you will be better on the whole and more productive at work when you can balance, when you find that balance and you're not just tearing yourself apart. So the meta mindset, a growth mentality, like we talked about last time, the meta mindset revolution, it really equips us with the mindset and the strategies needed to just navigate this challenge. It's just navigating, ladies. It's just navigating. It's not breaking through and crashing every time and breaking the glass ceiling. What about if we navigate? What if we're smarter, not just tougher? How can we use a meta mindset to give us more joy? Hello, more joy in our own businesses, and help us find that harmony, that fulfillment that we've always wanted in all the areas of our lives, not just business, right? And third, sip of water. As promised, the last but not least, overcoming imposter syndrome and self-doubt. If you have never felt imposter syndrome or self-doubt, please raise your hand for me virtually there. Okay. Because I would really like to talk to you. And actually, I really, really do want to talk to you. So email me and let's talk, because I want to learn from you. Most of us have definitely felt like an imposter. Now, what does that mean? It basically means questioning whether we deserve our success. That's the bottom line. We think it's, oh, I can't possibly do this. No one's going to take me seriously. We equate the imposter syndrome with the activities that we're taking. Oh, nobody's going to listen to me speak. I don't have the kind of voice that commands attention, and I'm never going to be able to speak and sell my product. It's not about these activities, ladies. It's about whether or not you think you truly deserve your success. Because I can tell you, when you know you deserve your success, all bets are off. And imposter syndrome, it's a terrible word. I hate it. I would rather we have something else, but hey, maybe we'll reinvent that some other time. The good news is, the really good news is that we're not alone. You're not alone. It affects many, 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 most, I dare say, possibly risking that, female entrepreneurs. And it really, it robs us of our confidence. And as businesswomen, it really hinders our progress. But guess what? Meta Mindset Revolution is here to really banish those doubts. So how do we get in there and banish those limiting beliefs that keep us small? So I'm going to share one other personal experience real quick. So early in my entrepreneurial career, I often felt that I was inadequate. I mentioned to you that from childhood, I hadn't been taught to be confident as a woman. I had been taught more to obey and to think small. And I literally thought there were 3 fields I could go into. And that's how small I was thinking. And that's how the programming worked. But so I've constantly felt inadequate. I constantly doubted my abilities. But as I said last time too, as I traveled, as I worked with my other mentors and gurus, as I really expanded into my professional career, as I embraced the principles of the meta mindset, I started celebrating more. And that's such a big part of getting over the imposter syndrome, is celebrating. I started selling my achievements, big achievements, small achievements, even tiny achievements, like that deserves a coffee. Let's go out. Celebrating your life, because as a firstborn, type A, Capricorn, you name it, I'm go, 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 work, 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 and beat myself up mentally for not doing better, for not doing more, for not being best, as opposed to rewarding the wins. And I'm like, that's a waste of time. Well, you may disagree with me on that, but that's how it's been for me. I realized that success is not about being flawless. It's not about trying to be perfect. It's about embracing our authentic selves and really embracing our true selves and learning from every step of the journey. Nothing is wasted, right? Nothing is ever wasted. No experience, good or bad, is ever wasted unless you choose to let it be wasted. It's been decades now since Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes did that first groundbreaking research. You might remember it, on imposter phenomenon. And specifically, remember, it was about high achieving women specifically. So this always reminds me that we're not alone in exploring these feelings. What I do know is that by cultivating a meta mindset, we can break free from that self-doubt that it's poison. It's poison in your system. Mentally, emotionally, break free from that self-doubt and really recognize our true self-worth, not just as humans and individuals, which is vitally important as well, but also as entrepreneurs, as businesswomen, as movers and shakers in our world, as individuals who are willing to break the rules and discover how to do things differently, to recognize our true worth, to embrace our unique brilliance as female entrepreneurs. and just as a unique human being, and stop trying to be that cookie cutter jumping through those 100 hoops I talked about in part 1. Okay, so next, in part 4, come back because I'm going to explore with you how the MetaMindset revolution empowers us to cultivate resilience. The word resilience. I love it. The word resilience. Remember, resilience comes after challenge, problem, quote unquote failure, but resilience is beautiful and powerful, and it influences our lives and the lives of those around us. Also, collaboration. How does the MetaMindset help us become more in tune with collaborating with others? So, not just defining success on our own terms, but in terms of helping us win together. Why would we all want to tear each other down and compete with each other when we can help each other win together, bigger and better? So, get ready to unlock your full potential. Get ready to rewrite the rules of what it takes to achieve entrepreneurial success as a businesswoman. And I'll see you in part 4.